Hi everyone, and welcome back to Ho Tanta Passione. If it's a Saturday and it's sunny and 25 degrees and your two best players won, it's definitely your day. Rafa and Iga both won and they are in the last 16 at the Roland Garros. For the King of Clay, the 16th time to the last 16 here at the Roland Garros. He won after 2 hours and 7 minutes against the British player Cameron Norrie, number 45 in the world, but at the moment number 13 in the ATP race. He was just a runner-up recently against Stefano Tsitsipas, so definitely he's a good player on clay. Also, it was their third meeting of the year, and overall they already played against each other at the Australian Open in the third round, and 1 month ago in Barcelona on clay. In that case, Rafa won in 3 straight sets in Australia and 2 straight sets with the score of 6-1, 6-4 against the British player. It was 17 degrees but very humid in Paris, 82%, and Rafa was playing on the Suzanne Lenglen. It's a court where he never lost Roland Garros. Also, they were showing some statistics regarding his meeting, his matches, against lefty on clay. He won 52 of them and he lost only 2 times, one of them against Fernando Verdasco in 2012 on the blue clay in Madrid. The match started, Rafa won the toss, he decided to serve, and only in the opening game he had to face basically a love 30 down due to an unforced error, a double fault, but later on both players were kind of keeping their serving games very easily until basically the sixth game of the opener was kind of the turning point. Rafa got a break, Norrie was love 40 down, and on the third occasion Rafa managed basically to start leading in the score for 4-2. It was already 26 minutes since the match started, and after basically in 36 minutes, so just after 10 minutes, Rafa managed to secure the opening set with a score of 6-3, a love game. Basically looking a little bit of the tactic of Norrie. Norrie was trying to anticipate and take basically the ball early. As we know, even Novak Djokovic said recently that it's a nightmare to have to cope with the Rafa's spin, in particular on clay, because if you don't put the racket in the right way, the ball basically is going to fly away. They were showing some statistics, 13 winners for Rafa in the first set, but 11 unforced errors instead for the British, 3 winners and 5 unforced errors. I think Rafa was trying, to be more aggressive, probably to prepare himself for the second week. We all know that he has changed so much his tactic, and in particular he loves playing the 1+, so after the serve to try basically to finish the point in the 3 or 4 shots. The second set started in a very strange way, because Norrie won the opening game and after he was the first to break, but after Rafa broke him back, and we had basically 2 breaks coming from Norrie and 3 from Rafa. Rafa, who managed basically to level the score on 3-all, and after he got another break in the 7th game, leading 4-3. At that point, I think Rafa probably was showing a great footwork intensity. He was winning a lot of points with his backhand cross court and as well with his forehand. He tried much more forehand down the lines today than in the two previous matches against Popyrin and Gasquet. And also, just we came, to the 9th game where Rafa basically got another break, and he won the set with an incredible shot, with a backhand cross court that he was absolutely stunning. Rafa celebrated a lot, and as well his corner today there was as well his wife Mary there, and the entire Nadal's clan. The third set basically started with Rafa on serve, and Rafa got immediately an early break in the 4th game with a forehand winner cross court. Another incredible and very impressive shot. But today I think his forehand was on fire, but at the same time he was making a lot of unforced errors. They were showing statistics, only 18 with his forehand, unforced errors for Rafa, and only 8 for Norrie. Overall, at the end of the match, Rafa made 29 unforced errors versus 18 of Norrie. In the 8th game, Norrie managed to save a match point, so he pushed Rafa to the 9th game. Rafa went on serve, and he kept, and he won that game in a quite comfortable way, finishing the match with a forehand winner. So like I mentioned at the beginning, is the 16th time that Rafa is reaching the last 16 here at Roland Garros. Is 103 win at Roland Garros. Like I said, there was a total respect even when Norrie was leaving the court. The entire crowd was kind of clapping, cheering his name. I think he produced a great tennis. He was quite aggressive. And when they asked Rafa, there was Fabrice Santoro at the end for the on-court interview. Rafa said, overall, I played a good match. Of course, I had some ups and downs, but the most important thing was to win in straight sets. Also, it was quite funny when Rafa had to answer the first question in French. Probably Fabrice Santoro made a mistake saying that you won so far 12 Roland Garros. And also at the end, Fabrice Santoro asked him the importance of his family team in his career. Of course, he said, I'm very happy, I'm very glad, but I feel very sympathetic in the last year for those players, in particular traveling from South America, Australia, who unfortunately couldn't count, on their family or a full team. But Rafa as well said, hopefully the situation will keep improving. He was very, very pleased, to play in front of some crowd. So Rafa, bravo, like Fabrice Santoro said at the end of the match. And now Rafa will play in the last 16 against Yannick Sinner, the 19-year-old Italian who defeated today in 3 straight sets the Swedish with the score of 6-1, 7-5, 6-3. Probably the turning point was in the second set when Sinner saved a set point on 5-3 with, the Swedish player on serve. So now the two players, Rafa and Yannick, will play again. Last year they met in the quarterfinal of Roland Garros. This year they already played in Rome, the first round, so it's going to be a quite interesting match, and of course, Rafa will have to raise, the level of his tennis. Looking at the other results for the men's, the world number 1, Novak Djokovic, won in 3 straight sets on the Philippe Chatrier. The match was very quick. I just watched some highlights. He won with a score of 6-1, 6-4, 6-1 in not even 1 hour and 30 minutes. 4 aces for Novak, 0 break points giving to his opponent. He converted 6 out of 9 break points and 63% of first serve in. To be honest, it was a quite easy path so far for him. And let's let's see what's going to happen when in the next round he will play against the next gen Lorenzo Musetti, only 18-year-old, a player who trained this week with Rafa, and he said he was very pleased, very happy, who defeated in the Italian blockbuster Marco Cecchinato, who in 2018 reached the semi-final here at Roland Garros. Lorenzo lost the first set 6-3 after he won the second 6-4 and the third 6-3. Cecchinato leveled the score with the 6-3 in the fourth, but after he got too early break, he went on serve on 5-1, and after he finished after 3 hours and 7 minutes, after he won, Lorenzo basically collapsed on the floor in perfect Rafa's style, probably, spending time with Rafa. He wants to copy his celebrations as well. In the morning, instead of the Suzanne Langlaine, Diego Schwartzman defeated in 3 straight sets the German Kohlschreiber, who in the previous round beat Karatsev. Today, probably the German player was having, kind of a groin problem, but I have to say I was impressed from Diego. The Argentinian was kind of a brick wall today. We all know that he has equal power from both wings, so from his forehand and backhand he's hitting, very, very hard, and so far he hasn't lost any set at the Roland Garros, so he won 95 points versus 60 of Kohlschreiber, and also he converted 7 out of 13 break points, and he only basically lost 1 serving game. So it's very, very impressive, and it's going to be very interesting to watch the next last 16 against another German, Straff, who defeated in the first round Andrei Rublev, and today beat the 18-year-old Spanish qualifier Alcaraz with a score of 6-4, 7-6, 6-2. So Berrettini still has to play, and Berrettini, the winner of Berrettini-Kwon, we play against the winner of Federer-Kopfer. Roger, we play tonight at 9 p.m. local time in Paris on the Philippe Chatrier. So it's quite interesting. I'm asking you, who do you think of the Italian players will have the easiest match? Sinner against Rafa, Lorenzo Musetti against Djokovic, and eventually, I believe, Berrettini against Roger Federer. It's going to be quite interesting, and I also would like to mention one statement of Roger Federer in his last press conference, where he said, everyone thinks that clay is a quite slow surface, but clay nowadays is faster than hard court. If the maestro tells that, I totally believe and trust him. Just now, moving to the women, like I mentioned earlier, Iga, Super Iga, won as well. A very difficult match on the Philippe Chatrier against Kontaveit. In the 2 previous matches when they played against each other, Iga lost. She got broken early in the match, but after she was good enough, to keep playing, keeping positive, and she leveled the match on the 8th game for, score of 4-all. After the first set was a push to the tie-break that Iga won with the score of 7-4 after 55 minutes. The second set was completely a one-sided set. Iga started, to raise the level of her tennis, and she won with the score of 6-love. Overall 1 hour and 22 minutes. When they asked her at the end of the match, during the on-court interview, she said at the beginning, Kontaveit was playing very fast, but after I managed to find the key, it took a while for me to get comfortable, but after I started to keeping focus on my game and never losing kind of the good confidence. So overall I think was a super performance, very impressive from her side. So far for this player is only 20-year-old, 10 wins at the Roland Garros, 20 sets won and 0 lost, so incredible numbers. When they also ask her at the end, how do you always keep so positive, you're always so smiley, even in the dressing room. And she said it's very important, you know, my psychologist, the fact that she's traveling with me around. She mentioned as well the aspect of the mental situation, and I believe it was probably kind of a referring as well to Naomi Osaka. Everyone knows that they are very good friends. Probably Iga is very supportive, so well done, Iga. Also, looking at other results, there was another upset this morning. Elina Svitolina, number 6 in the world, lost in 2 straight sets with a score of 6-3, 6-2. And now Krejcikova will play in the last 16 against Sloane Stevens. Sloane Stevens, who seems on fire, number 59 in the world, defeated in 2 straight sets, 6-3, 7-5, the Czech Muchova. So for Sloane, 84% of first serve in, 82 points won versus 68. So she was definitely on fire. I believe she can be, you know, quite a surprise. The US Open champion in 2017 and the runner-up here at Roland Garros in 2018. Also, Sofia Kenin won against, you know, the American blockbuster Jessica Pegula. She was 1 set down. She won the second 6-1 and the third 6-4. But I have to say, overall, 1 hour and 56 minutes of match. She was always very negative. She was even angry and upset when she was winning points. Definitely, she needs to find a little bit more balance. I don't know, to be honest. Even her match was kind of a roller coaster. I don't know how much she can progress. The runner-up of last year, Roland Garros. So that's all for now. I'm going to watch now the other American blockbuster, Coco Gauff against Jennifer Brady. The schedule for tomorrow, we have the bottom half, last 16, Fokina versus Delbonis, Nishikori versus Alexander Zverev, Garin versus Medvedev, and Tsitsipas, who won last night against Isner in 4 sets after losing the first against the Spanish Carreno Busta. Instead, for the women, last bottom, Zidansek versus Cirstea, Azarenka versus Pavlyuchenkova, who defeated, you know, Sabalenka in the previous round. Serena Williams, who at the moment I consider favorite to reach the final from this, bottom half against Rybakina, and also Vondrousova against the new coming Spanish, very young and talented player, Badosa. So a lot of tennis. Stay tuned to on 80 Passione. Don't forget to subscribe. See you tomorrow. Ciao!